2 months ago, we made a video debunking AI scams, and since then, it's only gotten crazier. So we're gonna be taking a look at advertisements that might be real, misinformation, and AI videos that are spreading in a time of crisis, plus video game advertisement for a game that maybe exists. We're gonna apply our visual effects eyeballs, our AI art experience to this to see if we can tell what is real, what is fake, and we're gonna tell you how you can identify this for yourself.
We're 3 VFX artists on a mission to discover all of the AI-generated scams on the internet. Come join us today as we show you what's fact and fiction. We're 3 VFX artists.
Los Angeles has been on fire the last week or so, and it is a big deal. Such a big deal, everyone in the world thinks that the entirety of Los Angeles is literally burning to the ground. And it is a tragedy, and there's very, very big fires, but the vast majority of LA is actually not on fire, but you wouldn't know that if you saw some of these video clips. For instance, the Hollywood sign was never on fire. It's like, okay, I mean, it's kind of a dope shot, but why has Hollywood got like 3 L's?
I mean, if there wasn't 3 L's, would we be able to tell this is AI? First off, there's more mountain above the Hollywood sign.
Yeah, that makes it look like the Hollywood sign is like 5 feet tall up on a hill, and not 40 feet tall way up at the top of a mountain.
Sure, but obviously if you live here, you can pick apart why it's not real. But I would just say to your average viewer, it's like, first off, it's very cinematic. The fire is very big, it's got very intense composition, but that's the thing. There is another shot of the Hollywood sign on fire that I saw that is way more convincing than this, and I know it tricked a lot of people. There it is. Now,
this is the Hollywood sign in the right spot, except for the fact that there's no lights on the Hollywood sign.
Yeah, the Hollywood sign itself is literally glowing. It's a sign, not a neon light.
But you're seeing the smoke issue, which is smoke and fire in AI video just kind of creates from nothing and goes away from nothing. It doesn't quite affect itself in a physically accurate way. If you step back and look at it, it's like, wait a minute, how fast is that smoke moving? And you see parts of it just like disappearing and other parts of it appearing. Fire rises at a certain rate because of how hot it is and how it flows through the air, same with smoke. You know, if a tiny fire, let's say it moves in 1 second from the bottom to the top of like 1 foot. So a 30-foot fire should take 30 seconds to go all the way to the top of that flame. But the thing is, the AI doesn't know how big the fire is, so it's just put it in there at whatever speed it wants. And if you kind of step back and squint, you're like, that fire looks tiny. Looks like a campfire because of how fast it's moving. And it happens all the time in movies too.
when you actually go across social media, even though we can easily point out a lot of the things that are fake about these shots, a lot of people still believe it.
I feel like there's a lot of targeted like rage engagement farming happening across all social media right now.
We'll get to that.
As far as like that video goes, it's like, let's say the Hollywood sign wasn't there. What are the tells that make this AI generated?
The trick with like AI videos for me is just like pick something that's not in the center and follow it the whole time. Like pick a little smoke puff, a little curly cue of smoke and follow it. Then you start to see it do weird things. You're like, that doesn't seem consistent. And you kind of look around to other spots and the same thing happens.
Fire in smoke though is a tough one though, because it's already so amorphous and it is changing and it is evolving. And so doing this specifically is not gonna be the easiest thing to do. Even on the right, we see some weird wind pattern or something like that.
Yeah, like the smoke's getting sucked downwards a little bit at times.
But it's also on a mountain, and we know that there's wind patterns across these hills that will sometimes pull smoke down or push it up, and like we get those unnatural motions.
Posting this kind of stuff right when a tragedy is occurring and like, you know, en masse on the internet though, like reeks of distaste.
Yeah, it's like September 12th, 2001.
Let's get some more AI visualizations of planes hitting the buildings. Like, oh man, too soon. Come on now.
Yeah.
I have two soapbox things. So we stay away from politics on this channel. We will never tell you who to vote for. We'll never endorse a politician or any of that kind of stuff. We will share philosophies because we're artists, and that's where art comes from. Okay, first things, I'm gonna say this just about the Eaton fire that wiped out Altadena. When the fire started on that mountain, there were 60 to 80 mile per hour winds that blew those flames and embers down to the city. Those embers went for miles. No fire breaks would have stopped it. Anybody out there who's taking things like this that should be American issues, right? Everybody's suffering. It doesn't matter what side of the political spectrum you are on. Anybody who immediately jumps on that and turns it into a sports team right versus left stops that help from happening. And that hurts citizens, and that hurts people. Our goal with a video like this is to help you learn to be skeptical and critical and understand how to divide truth from the noise and the manipulation. The reason we're looking at this here is we're trying to show you the current moment of the LA wildfires. You know, it's being manipulated in this way. Got really nothing else other to say than that, but don't have a political discussion down in the comments. All right, we gotta lighten the mood a little bit here.
But also, real quick, a word from our sponsor.
Are you tired of falling for AI scams?
Yeah.
Is social media harming your self-image?
You bet.
Well, then maybe you should try going outside.
What? Wow. But now I have to worry about stepping on rocks.
Not with today's sponsor, Vessi.
Whoa!
Vessis are the perfect footwear for chasing your New Year's resolutions, whether that's going outside or just unplugging from the internet for a while. Jordan over here is rocking the weekend sneaker, which is as comfortable as it is durable.
So what? I just can't get them wet or something?
You can get them as wet as you want because Vessis are 100% waterproof, which means you can go outside, rain or shine.
I think I'm gonna get used to this going outside thing.
If you want to try going outside, then head on over to vessi.com/corridorcrew for 15% off your first purchase at checkout.
So lots of people sent us the recent Coca-Cola commercial that was made using AI. Over the last year or two, AI video has become more and more popular, but now it's actually like legitimately hit the mainstream. Coca-Cola is one of the biggest brands in the world. They've got billions of dollars to throw around, and now they've done this. I'm hoping to show you guys these things so we can kind of get an idea of like, what are the tells that make something look AI generated? How can we know automatically that it's AI?
Wait, why is this so low res? Can we pull up a higher res version of this?
No,
Okay.
keep watching.
Wait, this is a real commercial. This is not AI. What are you doing, Wren?
This is a real commercial from the 90s.
Okay.
This is what the AI video was inspired by. It was basically based on this exact aesthetic.
Well, you know, when you pull up to an intersection and you have to wait like an hour because there's 1,000 Coca-Cola trucks, it's like the worst situation ever. You get stuck at a train crossing. This is worse, way worse than that. It's like, Dad, why are you driving so fast? Like, we have to beat the trucks. No!
Before I dig into anything, let's see the real deal, Wren. Or should I say, the artificial deal.
There's two versions that got released, and they're made by different companies.
The strangest.
It's like Harry Potter smoke.
I've never seen a good smoke sim from an AI generated video. It's all just like wishy smoothness, weirdness.
Everything's so still and like static. This is not a real Coca commercial.
Niko, I pulled this directly from the Coca-Cola YouTube channel. This is like the one that they have legitimately like playing.
Actually, newsflash for you guys, Coca-Cola did an AI commercial a year ago, and it flew under everybody's radar. But no, Coca-Cola was really early on the AI animation game, and they made some really interesting stuff with it. Like, it was cool and experimental. And you know, at this point, I think everybody just played right into their game. They knew it. They knew if they dropped one of these commercials, it'd be easy, it'd be cheap, and everybody would just spread the word. Look at us! We're putting it on our channel right now.
So this was clearly an AI generated video, but was everything that we just saw actually AI generated? I'm not convinced that first shot is AI generated. I think that's actually a real shot, because the made with real magic AI only pops up after that clip. And that first shot, especially like the moment it actually opens and all the air and moisture just immediately clouds up inside of the thing, and all of the motion blur of all the little particles shooting out, it's like, that looks real to me.
It's perfectly consistent, yeah. And also, it lets them get away without having to put the AI disclaimer at the very beginning of the commercial. And it's all, they're pulling a little, what's his name? Director of Lion King? John Favreau.
Oh.
They're pulling a little John Favreau, where he made the very first shot of Lion King, a real shot of the sunset. Yeah. That's what they're doing.
This one, I'm not super impressed with. It's a bunch of kind of generic looking shots that, from a quality perspective, don't look that great.
Yeah, they don't.
I hate that polar bear shot. The polar bear shot is like the quintessential AI video shot of like a really strange, like easy ease kind of transition where you know, it's like.
And like the water just splashes at the end on its own for some reason.
Also, the polar bear's mouth never actually goes through the water. It's like it clips out of the water and then goes up.
The thing with AI video, you'll notice that like across the board with all AI video, nothing happens in the shots. Like things move, but things don't progress. Like, you know when Steven Spielberg does a shot, he's like, an A thing happens to a B thing, and then we settle on a C thing, and like a story plays out.
Yeah.
All these shots are basically like Harry Potter news pictures, where it's just like a motion picture, like a cinemagram, you know, where it's just like nothing can progress, no decisions can be made, no actions can be taken. You can sit there and your dog, you can wag your tail and look around, and that's all that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So the second one is made by a company called Secret Level, and in my opinion, it's a lot better. So I wanna get you guys' thoughts on it.
It already looks a lot better. Either there's like some custom training happening here, or there's a lot more work going into like fine-tuning these animations. It's way more detailed. This one's not that bad.
Yeah, it's better. It's nicer looking. It's sharper and a little bit more consistent. It looks less like a montage of stock footage.
So that one shot of the Coca-Cola bottle like opening, I'm pretty sure is a CG shot.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Because there's a breakdown where it shows the 3D scene for this. I think this is still somewhat AI rendered on top of whatever they made, because they did a liquid simulation for the actual Coke inside the bottle. They animated all of it, but maybe they then did like an image-to-image type situation where they're getting the full image as an AI image.
There's a whole lot of compositing going on. They're taking AI material, but then they're actually working on it and changing a lot of things and adding things, and like you have to do that to take any AI video material and like actually make it usable. Like you still need to put your craft into it as an artist, and they seem to be. Like the snow is comped in from what I can tell.
Actually, look at that shot of the door opening. That's a CGI door being tracked in there, opening up. See?
You're
yeah, if
right.
you just look at the way it is, you can understand it all.
Yeah, because they needed this specific action. Once again, specific actions, you can't get it with AI video, and you're always fighting against this like random nature of AI video where you can never quite get the same thing twice. That Coca-Cola logo is tracked in through all these shots, I'm guessing.
Wait, manually motion tracking AI video is the closest thing to the Matrix that's ever existed, right?
What?
A computer hallucinates an image and then gives it to you to do manual labor on. Sorry.
I was not following at all until you said that, and then I was like, oh my God, I think you're right.
Well, I'm just saying, like, it's kind of trippy. Anyways,
Here's a final image from the video, and if you play it, you'll see the before.
Oh, that's a lot of work.
It's not just the logo, they're also tracking in lights and various other pieces of text, because
Yeah.
AI video is not very good at generating any text.
I also wonder if they fed this model or trained this model on their previous commercial footage, which is kind of an important thing. Like when you're dealing with an AI model, a generalized AI model, like what you might get from OpenAI if you go to use Sora, like that's trained on the data that they've used for that model, and it's hard to get your own vibe and your own style out of it. And that's one of the many reasons why I think people find AI imagery and AI video to be kind of like whatever, is it's because it's so derivative of just like a distillation of generic art, and you just end up with stuff that's just directionless. But here, like it doesn't feel super directionless. It feels like there's definitely like a focus, and they're like trying to pull in a vibe and a style. And it is a style that Coca-Cola has made before. And once you start training in your own style and you start training in your own data, like it starts to leave that realm of AI slop and becomes a little bit more nuanced and becomes a little bit more artistic. There's a couple little goofy things about it, but this is not that bad.
I don't even know how to describe what this tool is that they're using, but click the emotional response clip. Second by second emotional
What is
response
this?
tracking. I guess AI figuring out whether or not this will generate disgust or contempt or happiness.
Whoa.
They think this is mostly gonna generate happiness, and judging by the comments on all the AI Coca-Cola videos, probably not.
Weird.
Unfortunately, this commercial generated no fear. They are not afraid of Coca-Cola.
That's
from
good.
this.
But it did generate sadness when it ended.
Wait, did it?
Yes, it did. I'm happy and neutral and a little bit in contempt, and now I'm sad.
This is hilarious. I love how there's just like a slight contempt happening.
Yeah, just
constant.
slightly the
You're
whole
like
time.
enjoying it, and then every once in a while you're just like.
Yeah, I mean, once again, I get it why people wouldn't like an AI commercial, but when people are putting in a lot of effort, this is as good as it's getting. There's still a lot of flaws. It kind of shows you where the challenges lie still. When the audience notices in a film that it's CGI, it's generally considered a bad thing. The audience shouldn't get distracted by how the movie's being made. They should just enjoy the movie. If the audience is getting distracted by the AI tools being used, then it's technically a failure of the tools. People are gonna go off about stealing art from the malls and that kind of stuff. That's not what I'm referring to here. You know, just the simple nature of like, oh, you used Photoshop, you used MS Paint, whatever. It doesn't matter if the final image is compelling and it doesn't distract you because of how it was made. And if it lets you communicate a brand new visual style or medium or idea, that's super cool. I mean, that's the whole point of art.
Yeah, so those are our thoughts on the Coca-Cola commercial.
Coca-Cola. The logo's not incorrect. I can't believe they managed to get that cleared. All right, time for the next clip, but don't forget, drink RC Cola. So we made a short, deep-fake film about Keanu Reeves stopping a robbery at a gas station. It was very clearly fake. He spins Rhett Driver's head around
Twice. Because as artists, we know that the second time is the one that makes you realize it's not real.
Very recently, it got picked up by a weird AI news generation misinformation platform and went kind of viral.
A man was robbing a gas station. Then Keanu Reeves suddenly appeared to divert the robber's attention from hurting other shoppers.
Keanu, unarmed and unafraid, approaches the robber.
What?
No, this guy did a parody of our video because he runs a parody martial arts channel called Mexican Martial Arts, MMA. And this news article's using his video as if he's a real dude, like an actual guy commenting
Dude,
on it.
this is so many layers.
So it's so many layers. So this
We're
guy,
like 3
this
layers
guy's playing
deep.
a comedic character, not for this video, for his own channel.
So it's our fake video being reviewed by another comedy martial arts account.
And then that got clipped and ingested for this AI-generated news, whatever, editing thing. I don't know.
Holy shit.
The internet's dead. This is some dead internet right here, some dead-ass internet.
How did Keanu change the entire situation from deadly to heartfelt? Join us as we reveal the unthinkable.
This article continues to loop on itself over and over and over, kind of just restating itself.
It's a 21-minute video?
Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm dying now inside. I'm actually passing away.
Yeah, we gotta see what the comments are like. This man is a person everyone knows and loves, also someone kids can look up to. God bless you, Keanu.
He's all man. God bless you. You're the real deal. This is the kind of people I want my grandkids to look at. This is bots. This is the internet eating itself, guys. Dead internet theory is a thing that's been going around as a phrase here. It's basically the idea that the internet is no longer going to be owned by people. Social media, forums, things like that. Normally we assume these are places where humans come to interact, but these systems and these platforms are being overtaken by non-human actors to the point now where we have largely AI-generated content being interacted with AI bots. The thing is that all the systems and networks and platforms that we're participating in encourage that to the point where, well, now when these AI tools come out, it is in everyone's best interests to create more of that AI-generated content to flood these systems in hopes of monetizing it in some way or another.
Yeah, especially if you're in like an impoverished place in the world where it's like, oh, I can just use these computer tools, pump out like a fire hose of media.
Exactly.
And I can make a couple bucks.
It's not like, oh, how is this happening? It's a corporate thing. It's not a corporate, like, no, it's the way these systems and platforms are designed, it is incentivized to create a world that is flooded with AI content. I have a very good segue to something else we could talk about here. Did you guys hear about the Meta AI avatars that they released?
Yes, oh my God.
It's so cringy. So granted, this is gone by now because they did take them down about a week ago. Every big company's got to have their AI thing. Meta AI's latest thing was Instagram profiles for AI avatars that you could actually interact and message with. So it started with licensing celebrity appearances to basically create chatbots, which was weird. Like they had one for Mr. Beast and stuff, but then they took it to another level and decided, you know what, let's not even take real people anymore. Let's create artificially generated people and make Instagram profiles where they actually post stuff from their day-to-day life. It is kind of a scam. It's a scam of humanity, especially when you have your AI bots posting donation pictures.
Somebody left a really good comment that I found interesting, which is like, this kind of feels like cultural appropriation a little bit. Proud black queer mama of two and truth teller. There are people who struggle with, being part of like LGBTQ+, and then a giant corporation takes that and makes an AI character out of it. That AI doesn't have kids. That AI does not have a sexuality preference. It's like you're kind of making caricatures now and like taking real problems and like dance, make me money. It's like, ugh.
It's super gross. It's super gross. So here's the funniest thing about this, in my opinion. They allowed you to create these AI avatars yourself. But as you were scrolling Instagram, you would occasionally be served an array of user-generated AI avatars that you could interact with. They still let you create these things and technically publicly share them. They're just not being pushed out by the algorithm anymore. Let's take a look at what we can do. So create an AI on the left side. The one I started with, it was just totally twisted, but it is specifically conjoined twins that are married to each other. Okay, it's too edgy. It's too edgy, but it did it.
It did?
No matter what you feed it, what it's gonna do, it's going to take it and sugarcoat it with the most saccharine, peppy, smiley corporate attitude you can possibly get. They're gonna candy coat it with the Facebook, the Zuck sweetener. The Zuck mug. Well, you can see, as you can see, I was talking with the Joker earlier. The twisted mind of the Joker. I hope it doesn't have my, oh, it has my conversation.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we can censor out my stuff and just see its responses. It turns out I am more fierce than the Joker. I'm more twisted. Sorry, it's just funny. It's just funny because it's so corporate.
All right, so.
Anyways.
Gentlemen, there was a trailer for a game at the Video Game Awards back in, I think it was December, and everybody's like, this is AI. This is definitely AI. I want to play it for you guys. You tell me what you think.
This is not, no, this isn't AI.
Not at all. The first couple shots had a little bit of that aesthetic, but that was it. Oh, go back a
Wait
little
a
bit.
minute.
Those images look like Mid-Journey images.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Here's the thing. When it feels like your art style is Mid-Journey, it makes your art feel like AI. And I think that's what's happening here. As I think it was a very like Mid-Journey AI-informed aesthetic. Because of that, the video feels like it's AI. And this is not AI. This commercial here, this trailer is not AI. The characters are far too consistent from frame by frame. The environment's consistent from frame by frame. And the characters take action. There's decisions, there's interaction, right? It's like, let's stand here, let's jump, I tripped. The little tiny details like whiskers and hairs are consistent and they don't morph and blend and disappear and reappear. They stay there, they move correctly, especially when things move fast. It's like if you have a hair here, it's just a tiny line, and then another frame, it's all the way over here. An AI is not going to track that motion. But the aesthetic feels like AI art, which is what's triggering people. And then of course you have this little last bit at the end where it does have some AI images, and that really throws people off.
Is this verified that there is specifically AI or Mid-Journey being used here?
So since a lot of people thought that this game was an AI-generated video, they went to the website and took a look around, and a lot of the pictures on the website have been pulled, but some of them were saved here for backup, so let's take a look here.
So these are all cats we saw in the commercial.
I think what we're seeing here is you are seeing a Mid-Journey or some other image model render of a cat that they then took and made models based on it or Photoshop composites of. If we scroll back up here and look at the cat's nose, that little ridge in the middle gets a little weirdly off to one side and almost looks like a nostril.
Yep, it's deformed.
Yep, and the fur kind of has that smeary feel. The whiskers kind of come out of nothing and branch out of nothing. There's like a Y of a whisker that then goes together.
Yeah,
and
I see it there on the left underneath the AC.
Yeah, there's that comes together and then it goes up.
Yeah, so these are definitely generated.
Yeah, you're right. So this is another Matrix kind of situation here where somebody has a robot create an instruction set and then a human does the work.
Yep. And then the same thing here. You can see the cat is different from shot to shot. That's probably the 3D model at the top. And then this eyeball on the left has nothing to do with the cat we just looked at. And the cat on the right is not the same cat and it has completely different hair.
From what we saw in the trailer, this is a cat that like the eyes change and they're really evocative and all that. So that image there is probably to signify like, look, this is the vibe we're going for. Look at how crazy cool the eye looks in a pitch meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, a pitch meeting. So here's the trailer for the actual game.
Oh my God.
Is this a gameplay trailer?
Oh, this is gonna be like Second Life?
So I think the whole idea is to basically just be like Nintendogs, but with, you know, cats. Feels kind of like a false, like artificial scarcity kind of game where you want a cool piece of art or a cool thing for your house, but you're gonna have to pay tokens for it. I don't know. I don't want to dig on it too hard. The game's not out, but
Yeah, we don't know anything about this yet.
this feels a little bit like an Unreal Engine demo. A game in work here, like they've made cat models and there's animation, like work's being done, but this feels like
Yeah,
it's,
but what's the game?
this feels like it's very early. It feels like they've been working on the game for like 3 months and like got this out as fast as they could.
Dang, and then here I was like ready to give this game the benefit of the doubt, but after seeing like the gameplay footage, this feels sketchier than I initially thought.
But at the very least, I can say without a doubt that the trailer is not AI. There's
Yeah,
no AI
I agree
video
with
in
you on
that.
that.
There's no AI here in the gameplay. You know, maybe in some of the marketing on the website, there's some AI for like the visualization of things, and they probably shouldn't have done that when they were launching. You know, it kind of just feels like, oh, concept art from like a computer. You know what? If this game comes out and it's just like $20, $30, play with your cats, no microtransactions, I will give them a free shout out on this channel for all the scrutiny we're giving them right now.
AI or not, you always have to be on edge when browsing the web these days. You might not even be talking to a real person. It's nuts. Be careful, guys.
If you guys find any more AI scams, send them to debunk@corridordigital.com and we can take a look at them here.
I got some crazy scam advertisements that I recorded and some deep fakes I made of these guys to show how it's being done. We'll save that for the next video, so consider subscribing if you want to see it.
Thanks for watching, everyone.